we've been working day and night, literally
Yeah.
day and night. Literally, our
Yeah.
guys are there overnight.
And yeah, 2 years later, we're like knocking on the finish line. It's pretty
Okay.
close.
Speaking of the finish line, do we have a projected date? I saw like you put some vinyl up on the window.
Oh
You
yeah.
got some
Yeah.
Well, welcome to this episode of the Bonita Buzz. I am your host, Jen Gregory, a local Southwest Florida realtor based here in Bonita Springs. And today we have a treat. I'm always excited for my guests, but I'm just over the moon about this. We have the Sugarshack here. And what I know everybody's been waiting. There's Facebook posts all over the place. When is this place going to open? So we're going to dispel some of those myths for you. But first of all, welcome Eddie Kopp and Dave Alpert from the Sugar Shack.
Hey.
What's
We
up,
have been
Jen?
waiting literally years for you guys to open.
Yep.
But let me start with let's go way back to the beginning because I know there's a lot of people, particularly in my neighborhood, there's always pool chatter or pickleball chatter,
Nice.
and people are waiting, particularly the older generations who maybe don't know where your beginnings are. They think it's a restaurant with live music and they're very excited.
Oh yeah.
But you guys have been around for over 10 years
We have.
here in our little tiny Bonita Springs
Yes, ma'am.
in their backyard recording artists.
Yep.
And most people honestly don't know. So let me start with it's your personal home.
It is the Sugar Shack. Yep.
Okay. And why Bonita Springs?
Yeah. So I moved into the area in 2005 to attend FGCU.
Okay.
And in '08, I moved out of the student living area and was looking for a home. And there was a small home on Craigslist called a Cute Fairy Home available now
Really?
in the heart of downtown Bonita Springs. And something resonated with the house. I walked in, I was like, this is our house. This is what we need.
Yeah.
There's something special about this little bungalow that was built in 1942. And me and my fiance Lisa, we signed the lease that day, and we still live there. It's been 14 years now in the same
Wow.
house. And after 3 years living in the house, we started a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
So yeah, Bonita was really a very quiet town
Hmm.
14 years ago. So
Yeah.
none of my friends lived here. But it was close enough to Estero, where all our friend circle was and the college at the time and
Right.
all that. But I don't know, there's something about Bonita we just loved.
Yeah. Well, gosh, we're just so excited that there's actually a hip music scene here in Bonita Springs.
There is.
Who knew?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about like the Sugar Shack in your backyard. What have you been doing with that? Like just pretend like I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
just met you
Yeah.
and you have this thing. Tell me about.
Yeah. So 11 years ago in 2014, I started a YouTube channel called the Sugarshack Sessions, or the Sugarshack Music Channel. And I was playing drums in a band at the time and touring around Florida with the band. And so I had met a lot of artists. But that band I thought was going to be my career broke up at the time. And through that band, I found my love for filmmaking and videography. And when that band broke up, it was kind of the height of YouTube, where people were starting to make careers on YouTube, and monetization on YouTube was becoming a popular thing. And so I was like, well, maybe I can make a little side hustle out of YouTube and start a channel,
Oh,
and leverage all the relationships I made in a band with all the artists that I've met in the state of
that
Florida,
is so smart.
and maybe start something cool with my friends. And I started taking on freelance videography jobs and gigs, and part of that was music videos. And I did one on the back deck of my house. A band asked me to do a music video, and I said, "Well, I just moved into this house, and I got a really tropical back deck, and we could use that as our set." And they said, "Sounds good." They came over, we shot this video, and it was with a band at the time called SoFlo. And when I saw the shot, when I was doing the edit, and I was just like, "Man, this is a really cool spot." And
Yeah.
me and my friends would always sit in a half circle on the deck and jam already. And when you see it on camera, I'm like, "This is a really special little spot." And I thought, well, there's no session channels in Florida because, as a touring artist, you're always looking for content, and
Okay.
you're looking, and as bands travel across the country, there's session channels throughout the country where bands can stop. There's Jam in the Van in LA, there's Audio Tree in the Chicago area. There's all kind, and then
Tiny
there's
desk.
Tiny Desk up
New
in
York. Yeah.
DC or New York, up in the Northeast. And there was nothing in Florida. There's no session channels for artists. I said, well, maybe I'll take a stab at this. I want to kind of stay in the music world,
Yeah.
but I can be behind the camera this time. I'm just kind of developing my love for filmmaking, and a lot of my friends are photographers, or videographers, audio engineers. So I talked four buddies into starting a YouTube channel with me because I couldn't do it alone. And I
Yeah.
like being part of a team and building something with a team.
Mm.
I've always loved that.
Team player.
Yeah, and bringing opportunity to my friends, and trying
Yeah.
to create something cool.
And bringing music to Bonita Springs.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, exactly. And locally we have a good music scene, and we did then too. And I said we'll start with the locals, and we'll get a foundation, and then maybe we'll start moving into the regional artists, and then I just started cold emailing big artists, national artists coming through the state.
really.
So over time, it took a lot of time. A lot of bands said no for, a year or two, but
Yeah.
bands started saying yes. And we don't charge bands to come see us. So that made it easy for the locals.
Yeah.
Because I would call buddies the day of and be like, hey, we're filming videos tonight. Want to come over and do a song or two? And we'll put on our YouTube channel.
Wow.
And that's exactly what we did. And we just never stopped. And we're still doing the same exact format 11 years later on my back deck. It's bigger and more grand now, but
Yeah.
that format on the back deck hasn't changed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's talk a little bit about YouTube. And if you're watching me, please subscribe to my channel. Um,
Makes a
yeah,
difference.
I know. How many subscribers do you have on your YouTube channel?
503,000 right now.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
That's
It's
amazing.
been
And
growing, yeah.
how long did it take you to grow your
I mean,
following?
February 6th is our anniversary, and it'll be 11 years this
Wow.
next February.
All
Yeah.
right.
So
Well,
it takes time.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very
Right.
much.
So now we're going to progress to the future here, and you're building this restaurant.
Yep.
Right on Old 41
Oh,
in
yeah.
our lovely downtown Bonita Springs that everybody loves so much. Tell me a little bit about how that idea came about, and my next question is going to be, is this going to replace your backyard sessions?
Cool. You want to take that one, Dave?
Yeah, I can answer the second question first.
Okay.
It won't replace them. We'll keep doing them. In fact, the new project's going to act as a really nice complement to what we've been doing for 11 years now.
Exactly.
But how did the new project come into this current form? We actually, this probably goes back 5-6 years ago. There was this idea that Sugarshack would go from a digital brand into this like physical space. And that was probably like version 0, right?
Yeah.
And so there was already kind of this interest in doing a physical location, but then a friend of ours named Kyle Moran approached us and had this idea to develop this property, right? And he thought a great concept would be a live music driven restaurant, a venue. We could bring our expertise and connections with the music industry in. We would partner with a great restaurant operator, and 1 + 1 would equal 3. And so that was probably it was 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago.
It's been a while.
But we just turned on the sound system yesterday for the first time, and
Oh, really?
yeah, we did.
That's so exciting.
Got to really
Very
hear like the heartbeat of the property for the first time.
Yeah.
And so that was really exciting. But yeah, it just came up really organically. I think Bonita Springs is a really special place to be right now.
It is.
I grew up in the area. I spent time between Naples and Bonita as a kid. My dad lived up here in Bonita. And so, I remember going through downtown Bonita when it was called Old Bonita, right?
Yeah.
And so it was just a different place. And I think these days we've got a lot to look forward to with, things like other projects that'll come on the heels of ours.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the rail trail. If we can
Yes.
make that happen, that's going
Yeah.
to be a really incredible addition to, the lifestyle of our area.
Yeah, it's just such a
So
great blend of old and new. We just had our real estate Christmas party at Shangri-La
yeah,
last night.
Nice.
And it's the history of that place, built in 1921, and I don't know if you knew, like my grandparents used to talk about all the movie stars that would
yeah,
come from
Yeah.
all over the world to
Oh,
go
yeah.
to this Shangri-La spa.
Exactly.
And so that, we got the old Bonita. We just had the Wonder Gardens on the podcast the other day.
Cool.
And then the new, you guys, you're bringing the younger vibe and all the live
Yeah.
music coming up. So you like have the legendary performers. Do you foresee any like surprise entertainers that you guys are going to get in, maybe that are kind of a bigger name for Benita?
Oh yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there will be national touring acts. So you'll see a tour bus, right? There's
Oh
going to
my
be
gosh.
tour
Oh yeah.
buses that are coming in. We'll do between maybe 15 to 20 of those types of shows a year.
Yep.
One quick thing to jump back to the Shangri-La.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Bill and Lee over there because
Big shout out.
they've been great partners to us. In fact, when we do sessions at Eddie's house, oftentimes the band or even guests that come for the experience, they'll go and stay at Shangri-La. So it's this really magical,
It is.
experience from, the session all the way through to where they're staying, because that is such a beautiful property.
It is.
It really
It's
is
old
so
Florida.
cool. Yeah.
And, did you know the original Bonita Spring is in that
Yeah.
property?
Yeah.
That's so
I
cool.
told my friend that, and she's like, I thought Bonita Springs was just a name. I didn't know it was an actual spring.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I guess it was Survey, and then the spring led to the name
Right.
Bonita Springs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Very
yeah,
cool.
some really cool pictures in if you go into Skillets on the
Yeah.
wall, they've got some incredible photos from probably the Historical Society.
Yeah.
But you might go in there for breakfast and just kind of look around, and it's amazing how different it looked,
Yeah.
100 years ago.
Yeah. So as far as like now we're going to morph into this restaurant kind of, can you tell me a little bit about like food and beverages and how does that come into play with the live music? Is that like you said there was somebody else that you wanted to come in and manage that portion of it?
Yeah, we've been working through how to approach food and beverages, and I think what we're going for is like an elevated bar food style,
Okay.
right? So there's going to be something that just about anybody can order. We are really gearing up for more of a healthy
Good.
menu, so no seed oils. We've talked
Thank
about like
goodness.
limiting things like high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
Yep.
If we do deep fry, it's going to be an avocado oil. So just
Wow.
things that people can eat and feel good
Yeah.
after eating
That,
them.
I mean, it's just such a thing right now where people they can't find anywhere that doesn't, have like the beef tallow or the avocado oil. It's all
Yeah.
it's all canola or things like that in their fryer. And
Yep.
people are definitely moving in that direction because
It's very important.
it's very, longevity.
Yep.
Everybody,
Yeah, you'll see a lot of local options on the menu, whether it's partnering with a local brewer to have something on tap that they make here in Southwest Florida, all the way down to eggs that are sourced right here in Southwest Florida. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just so if we can, we'll start here first.
Even there's talk of local meats too.
Yeah.
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 So we're trying to bring Bonita up as much as we can and
Gosh.
Yeah.
focus on local for sure.
Well, we're all things Bonita Springs.
That's
here.
right. But with that, it's looking like we'll be open 7 days a week, full service restaurant,
Okay.
Yep.
11 to midnight, 7 days a week. And we're trying to do live music 5 nights a week.
5 nights. Okay.
And there'll be local, regional 5 nights a week. And then, like Dave said, once or twice a month, we'll do a big national show where you need a ticket to get in.
Really?
Yeah, like a traditional venue.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I saw online that you're looking for guitars.
We are.
So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, the brand is built on acoustic sessions. So Sugarshack Sessions is all acoustic sessions.
Okay.
We bring artists in, we strip it down. No electric guitars are allowed on set.
Oh.
So we really thrive in that acoustic space and getting artists out of their natural element and strip it down to what music really is. So with that, we're trying to decorate our Sugarshack Downtown venue with acoustic guitars all over the venue.
I
So
love
kind of like
that.
a hard rock feel,
Sure.
but acoustic.
Acoustic
Yeah,
rock. Yeah.
yeah.
Acoustic rock.
So we're
not
looking
hard
for
rock.
donations. If you got an old guitar sitting in the corner of your room, bring it by.
I
A lot of
don't-
people do.
I
Yeah.
don't,
You'd be
but I think I
surprised.
know some people that do actually.
bring it on by.
Or, if you have some suggestions,
Yeah.
just, contact me through the podcast and I'll get in touch with them. and-
Please, yeah.
Yeah. Or I guess you can just bring them by.
You can
If-
drop
if
it off.
you're open right now, are you?
There's always people on site. You can walk right through the front door and drop it off at the
Okay.
hostess
We'll,
stand.
we'll know what to do with them.
Yeah.
And if they're
Alright.
there, and we've actually had quite a few already dropped off. I think
Yeah.
we've got 5 or 6 that are already on site
Ooh,
that
that's
people
awesome.
just they heard about it early before we even made the announcement.
Oh, that's great.
So
Yeah,
it's cool.
We announced it yesterday, so
Yeah.
we've got a
It's
lot
like
of messages.
wildfire.
Yeah.
Anything to do with Sugar Shack is like, so let's talk about some of like the myths. So you broke ground on what date?
Oh my gosh. It would have been like I think our first site walk was probably back in maybe it was April or June of 22. Does that sound right?
I think that sounds right.
Okay.
Yep. I think I was gonna say April 22.
April 22.
Somewhere in that time frame. It's all kind of a blur at this point.
Yeah.
It
It's
has been
been,
a blur.
but because it's been like, a massively rewarding project to like see it come to life,
Right.
So
Yeah, it's
Well,
unbelievable.
I know the people of Bonita have been watching it. So if you 22, so let's say my first experience or of hearing of you is going to be, which is one of my favorite events here in Bonita, the 4th of July parade.
Oh
oh
I
yeah,
yeah,
saw you guys
we love it.
on the float
Yeah,
and you all were
Eddie was playing
jamming.
drums on that.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah,
yeah,
And so everyone was like, what is the Sugar Shack? And, because
yeah.
first of all, you drew our attention with that live music
yeah.
and the float going by. So, now everybody's been waiting and it's been, 2 years have gone by.
Oh yeah.
And where are we now?
Well, we're still doing sessions at the house, 3 times a month, and we've been working day and night, literally
Yeah.
Yeah,
day and night. Literally, our
Yeah.
guys are there overnight working just to bring it to life.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's there's a lot of layers. It's a kitchen, it's two
Yeah.
bars, it's a live music venue, and it's a Sugar Shack retail store. So there's a lot of elements there, and it takes a lot of time. And there was no infrastructure on that property,
Right.
Yeah,
next to nothing.
everything's basically new construction except for the original structure that needed to be completely gutted and
Was that at
renovated.
like a mechanics garage,
It
I think? Yeah.
was, yeah, and when we got on site, a lot of the materials and tools and just leftover
Really? They just left it as
things.
is
It
and
was a
walked
junkyard,
away.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
was pretty wild, and so we were able to kind of I guess keep some of the things that were special, right? Some of the mementos that
Oh,
were
okay.
so there you might even see some things like that showing up
Yep,
on
yeah,
site.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, it was really uh, interesting to go on site and the first time you go there and it's just the fence is up, nobody can see into the property. It's on the corner of Childers and Old 41,
yeah.
Mhm.
and so that I remember driving past that property and it looked like a jungle.
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a fenced up jungle on the inside, and you didn't know what was behind the fence. And I remember the day that the fence came down, it just like opened up the whole intersection. It
Yeah,
made
it
it
did.
feel like, okay, now I can imagine what this is going to become. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
And then yeah, 2 years later, we're like knocking on the finish line. It's pretty
Okay.
close.
Speaking of the finish line, do we have a projected date? I saw like you put some vinyl up on the window.
Oh
You
yeah,
got some
Yeah,
lights on. There's a little
yeah.
bit of neon maybe going on
We're
in the back.
working towards last week of January for general public.
fingers
Okay.
crossed.
Fingers
Yeah,
Yeah.
crossed. Yeah.
if all things go well.
Yep.
So you have some like inspections or things that you have
Oh
to
yeah.
go
All of
through
the
before
above,
you open.
everything.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, realistically, if there's one piece of kitchen equipment that could get held up and that could hold
Yeah.
us back. So
Yeah.
it's just a lot of things have to go right, but we're hoping
Exactly.
for,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
late January, early
Well, I
February.
know like every single person in Bonita Springs and beyond is waiting
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
come
It's
to
exciting.
come enjoy
Exciting
the
Yeah.
Sugar
project.
Shack.
We're in the midst of hiring a great team right now too. So
Okay.
we'll have 48 full-time employees,
Wow.
team members,
48.
48 full-time hires, and then 24 part-time. I think we are looking at finding people who really understand and are passionate about this project and being with us long term, right?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
I think once that core team really forms, then the experience somebody has going on site, and it's going to be a place that you love to go because you
Right.
get to know the people there and they get to know you.
And so are you prepared for like seasonal, since it is a restaurant? I've obviously been a bartender and a server in this area for a while. Like the big hiring in October, November, and then the kind of whittling down in June.
I think we'll try to maintain a pretty steady head count no
Okay.
matter
Okay.
what.
Yep.
We talked about it. We've seen other projects where they've gone in, they've hired 100 people, and then they trim it back, and that
Yeah.
just never. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to work.
We don't want to do that.
We'd
Okay.
rather find just a
The
really
right.
strong core
Yeah.
and stick with that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if people, because I have a lot of friends obviously in the industry here in Southwest Florida,
Yep.
if they're interested, how do they apply? How do they get in touch with you?
Yeah. Go to our website, sugarshackdowntown.com.
Hmm.
When you're there, there's 3 different forms you can sign up for. One of them is if you just wanted to get general updates on the project. So we'll keep you informed on things like opening dates or maybe live music acts that are coming up. Second form is if you want to join our team. So you want to work there, you want to be part of the team, you want to wear the jersey. Third is if you're in a band.
Oh,
If you're in
Yep.
a band and you want to play the stage, there's a form on there that you can fill out and tell us who
very
you
cool.
are, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
I love that. Gosh. Well, I just thoroughly enjoy having you on here. I am just so all about it. So excited about the live music and the acoustic. And Bonita Springs is turning into like I love the walkability, I guess,
Us too.
of the
Oh
downtown.
yeah.
You're just able to go, from point A to point B and just stroll along and enjoy our beautiful Riverside Park and the
Yeah.
Imperial River and just all the things. And I'm just so excited that
Yeah.
We're
We've got
excited.
great options. I mean, we've got a lot of friends in the area. All the local spots are good friends of ours, and then there's going to be even more coming. I know like Baron Color's got a great project that's coming
okay,
online probably in the next year or two.
yeah,
So just there's so much to look forward to
There
in
yeah.
is.
Bonita. There really is.
I think in the meantime as well, I want to say you can come to the original Sugar Shack. We sell tickets to our sessions.
Oh,
So we'd love to have you, Jen. We'll put
yeah.
you on the guest list.
Heck yeah.
But you can come experience what we've been doing for a decade and sit there and put the headphones on. And there's a 3-course meal and an open bar, and you can experience the original Sugar Shack and see where this is all coming from,
Yeah.
and meet our team, the original team, and
Yep.
really just kind of feel what we do and be immersed into Sugar Shack even before we open. So because this is all kind of building from that, so it's a really
Gosh,
special thing.
sounds
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's cool.
Sounds so special. Well, thank you so much for coming on today.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and we'll see you next time on the Bonita Buzz.